Welcome and thank you for attending today's Fireside Chat. The Great AI Shakeup. Is your business prepared for the inevitable impact of artificial intelligence? I'm Rick Franzi, REF business partner for 15 years in Orange County. Along with Joseph Martins, we chair the REF Global Technology Network, a network designed to bring together our members who are in the technology industry to leverage their collective intelligence. Today, we are hosting this fireside chat focused on artificial intelligence. REF believes our members have a unique opportunity to harness the potential of AI to reimagine their businesses. We're at the beginning of the next great wave of innovation and are committed to helping every member to be at the forefront of the artificial intelligence revolution. And so today, we've invited Manuj Aggarwal to share insights into artificial intelligence. I'd like to thank Hector Garcia for your introduction to Manuj. Our time together is designed to be an interactive session. There will be a few polls throughout the morning, and we anticipate many of you will have questions about artificial intelligence. We encourage you to write those questions into the chat, and we'll bring them to Manuj's attention. I believe today we can learn as much from Manuj's presentation as we can from your curiosity about artificial intelligence. So please write your questions into the chat. I'd like to introduce our speaker. Manuj Aggarwal is the founder and chief innovation officer at Tetranoodle Technologies, an elite AI consulting corporation. Manuj, through Tetranoodle, has served clients like Microsoft, IBM, and Pearson's Education. He's touched at least 10 million lives and generated over 500 million in value through his expertise in technology and artificial intelligence. He has spoken at prestigious events like the United Nations, alongside figures like the Secretary General and Nobel Peace Prize winners, while President Obama and Bill Gates have recognized his work. Manuj has 4 patents in AI and has authored 2 books on technology. And so I am very proud and happy to welcome Manuj to the REF Global community. Welcome, Manuj.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I'm excited to be here, excited to share my experience and insights about AI. So yeah, AI is here. A lot of people don't know this, but AI has been around for decades. And now that ChatGPT was released in November last year, it has become a household name. It has become mainstream. And we can all sense it. We can all see it in the news, in the environment around us, that AI is here to stay. And today we will talk about what does this mean for our businesses, our communities, our lives, and how ready are we for this AI revolution. So as Rick mentioned, we will try to keep it interactive. So if you can, please participate. That'll help us inform about your curiosity, your understanding, your willingness to adopt AI. So if you can just provide your input on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready you are, how willing you are, that'll be very, very helpful. Okay, it looks like majority of the people are at least 5 and above. So I think we have a room full of people who are at least aware of what is happening in AI and are curious about it and perhaps willing to embrace AI in the short term. So that's very good news. In fact, 21% of people are at level 8, which is amazing. So that's great. We are in a room of people who are already ahead in the game. So that's awesome. So in preparation for this talk, this session, I wanted to demonstrate to everyone what AI can mean for them at a practical level. We all have heard, we can use ChatGPT to write emails and blogs and things of that nature. But as an executive, as a business leader, how can we use AI today to make our lives easier? So as I was preparing for this talk, I wanted to collect some data from reliable sources, from credible sources. So I came across a report, AI Adoption Index report, published by IBM. So this is a report, anybody can download it. But what I wanted to do was, I wanted to summarize it and present it in a slide format. And when I sent this report to my team to help me prepare for it, they said that it'll take about a week or so to digest this and then come up with, the slide deck that will be useful for the audience. And as business leaders, we all have to consume a lot of information. We all have to read a lot of documents and make sense of it. So that is very time consuming. So what I thought was, what if I could upload this document into an AI engine and have it read it and then give me the output that I'm looking for? So that's what I did. I basically uploaded, yes. I basically uploaded this document into a platform called Chat PDF, which underneath the covers, it actually uses Chat GPT. And I uploaded it, and now it has learned, it has read the document, it has learned about what is in the document. And now I can ask relevant questions to this AI, which will answer my questions as if, it has understood everything. So for example, I'm going to ask AI, what are the AI adoption rates around the world for various countries? And this is already explained in the document. And this AI will actually point me to the right page without me having to sort of sift through the whole document. Now, this is a small document of 20 pages. I can probably consume it in maybe an hour or so. Not a big deal. But I have also tested it with large books, 200-page books, 300-page books, where I can just say, okay, give me the summary of a particular chapter, or tell me what is the essence of this book. And that saves tons and tons of time, and I can consume much more information and be more informed with little effort, right? Here is another question that I can ask. What are the main barriers to widespread adoption of AI? Any question that is relevant that can be answered by this document, it almost becomes like an online professor teaching me according to my current knowledge. Whatever questions I have in mind, this AI is assisting me to enhance that knowledge very, very efficiently, in a very productive way. Does that make sense so far? How this can be utilized in your company, in your organization, in your life?
Manuj,
Yes.
we have a question from Glenn Perkins.
Yes.
He asked if the Chat PDF is open source and free.
So Chat PDF is not free. It is not open source. But if you go to Chat GPT and if you have access to the plugins, there is a plugin available that is free. I tested it, but it had some issues. So I could not use it on Chat GPT. Remember, we are still dealing with early access. The software is not ready for prime time. So there may be some issues you may encounter, but that is not to say you cannot use it today. So for example, if I go to Chat GPT and if I look at all the plugins that are available, there is something called Ask Your PDF. I haven't tested it yet, but it seems like it's the same thing. Yeah. And otherwise, this cost about, I think, $5 a month. So it's not a huge expense.
I have another question from Audrey.
Yeah.
She asked, how do you go about uploading a large document with hundreds of pages?
Yes, very good question. So what I did was I uploaded, I think this is about 200 pages. Sometimes, again, because these platforms are still just coming up, you may encounter some problems uploading very large documents. So what I did was, this is a book which is about 200 pages, and it has 11 chapters. So what I did was I asked my assistant to split that PDF into 11 PDFs, smaller PDFs, each chapter. And then I uploaded that so that I can sort of read one chapter at a time. So there are certain workarounds. Once you start to, get used to it, once you get over the annoyances of the early software, the productivity gain that you get is definitely worth it.
Those are the questions that we've had so far. And thank you to both Glenn and Audrey for participating in the webinar.
Great. And then, I wanted to take it further. So I wanted to see, okay, I can now use AI to read books and consume information quickly. But what about some skills that I don't have? Running a business, I have to, as we all do, we have to keep an eye on finances. And, I'm not a numbers guy. I get lost in details. So I'd have to spend, at least an hour or two with my accountants every week. But even then, sometimes I forget to ask a question. Sometimes I don't get the clear answer. So I said, okay, what if I use AI as my, 24/7 CFO and see whether it can help me? So in order to do that, what I did was I uploaded my financial statement for a month. And by the way, please be cautious about uploading sensitive data. This is for demo purposes. There are other solutions available today for enterprise documents, which are secure, which are private. So we can discuss that later, but this is just for demo purpose. I just wanted to highlight that. The idea was that I can upload my financial statement, and then I can ask AI to act as my CFO and give me some advice on how I can save some money. So my financial statement has already been uploaded, and now I asked AI to act as my CFO and advise me on how I can save money. And now it is actually going through all the transactions and providing me expert advice like a CFO, right? So now, I have much more confidence in my own ability to manage my finances, because, I can ask the relevant questions, which I may not get a chance to ask my accountant. So I just wanted to share these two quick demos to demonstrate the power of AI and what it can do for us as business leaders today. So in short, what I demonstrated, what is AI, how is it relevant to us? So imagine if you are able to hire an employee, a dedicated employee who has a degree in business, who has a degree in a master's degree, a PhD, if you will, in accounting, a PhD in medicine, a PhD in law, in PhD in history. All of this knowledge is in one employee, and they are available to you 24/7, never take a break, never take any holidays. And that's the impact that AI is going to create in our business, right?
Manuj, there are two questions. Can I bring them to
of course.
okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Daniel asked you, the financials were uploaded into the chat PDF in a
Yes.
PDF format?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Yes.
that was easy.
Yeah.
And a question from Sandra said, I understand that Chat GPT only has data up to 2021 and cannot check the internet. Is that correct?
Correct. It is up to 2021 by default, but if you subscribe to the plus version, there is ability now to connect to the live internet and get data from there. And the other thing is, if you conceptualize AI as not only ChatGPT, but other products like Google Bard, or there are multiple products that are going to come up. Most of these products will have access to the internet. So if you use Google Bard today, it will be actually connected to the internet.
Manuj, there's another question that came in,
Yes.
and it's from Fabricio. He asked, can we ask for tables and graphs? I guess in the previous financial.
Yes, I did attempt that. This particular program doesn't do that, but I have seen a ChatGPT able to do tables and graphs. I just didn't get the chance to like fully create that demo, but the capability is there. If we have time later, or maybe we can have one-on-one conversation where we can actually start to create graphs and tables and all of that good stuff.
So there's one more question, and that is the premium version of ChatGPT for a cost?
Yes, there is a $20 per month cost. And yeah, I mean, that's the cost. It's in my opinion, for the value it provides, is negligible.
Again, I want to thank the REF Global community for asking questions and participating in the poll.
Yes. So now that I have given you a little bit of a taste about what AI can do for us as business leaders, I'd like to get another poll on how do you feel about AI? You know, like, what do you think this represents for you? Okay. Well, the encouraging news is that more than 90% people are sort of leaning towards the positive side, that it presents an opportunity, or 15% are saying that they don't understand how it can be used in my business. So that is the whole point of this presentation. So I hope by the end of this presentation, you have a little bit of an idea on what first steps you can take. So that's great. So let's proceed. Now, Rick already gave me a very elaborate bio. I won't spend much time on it, but these are some of the corporations that we have worked with and implemented some really impactful global systems, improving people's lives in healthcare and education and real estate, multiple industries. So yeah, that's just me. And now let's talk about, is your company AI ready? Because AI is not a technology that is sort of complementary or supplementary to any technology that we are using today. In my opinion, it's a revolutionary technology. I think it is going to change paradigms. It is going to change the way we work and we interact with businesses and how business operations are run. As I demonstrated to you, imagine if you can have a CFO advising you for less to no cost at all. How does that change your business, right? So when you start to think about these things, you can say, okay, this was done for the CFO role. What if I want to hire a CMO, a CRO, a CTO? All of these roles can be filled by a super intelligent entity. This is AI. So how ready are you to incorporate AI? That's what we are going to talk about today. Now, before we move to that next step, let's also understand a little bit about what kind of concerns people have about AI, because there is a lot of there are a lot of news, there's a lot of hype about AI, but there are also a lot of concerns that I've personally heard. Yes.
In the chat, there have been some comments about concerns about AI. So asking this poll at this time seems very appropriate, and it's interesting to see what the results will be based on the choices that were given.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Well, so job losses 16%, false information 47%, and negative use case in harming other 30%. So let me quickly address each one of them. Right, job losses. Whenever a new revolutionary technology is introduced, we do experience some job displacement, but new jobs and better jobs are created. For example, when smartphones were introduced, before smartphones were introduced, there was no such job as app developer. Before the internet was introduced, there was no such job as website developer or search engine optimization engineer or any of these related jobs, right? So the idea is, as AI gets assimilated in our society, new types of jobs will be created, which will be much more enjoyable, much more meaningful, much more impactful. False and misinformation. See, our world is actually already controlled by AI. All the news we hear, all the social media posts that are shown to us, it is actually AI behind the scenes working to make sure that we maximize the number of clicks on those news items. So the AI algorithms uh, are actually optimized for creating misinformation, sensationalism. A good example could be, there's a lot of talk about some very significant names like Elon Musk signing a petition to slow down AI, and people all obviously pay attention to Elon Musk. Now, of course, Elon Musk has a lot of information. He's much more closer to the cutting edge of AI, but also we have to look at the facts. Tesla is an AI company. SpaceX is an AI company, and he has invested billions and billions of dollars creating even more powerful AI version. So there could be an element of getting competitive advantage by slowing other people down. There could be concern about socioeconomic repercussions if we have massive job losses or something along those lines. So we all have to really look at this misinformation with a grain of salt and then really understand what is happening underneath the covers. And as far as negative use cases are concerned, any technology can be misused, right? Even a car can be used to like run over somebody, or we can use the car to go grocery shopping. So any technology is not nefarious in itself. It's how we use it and what are the use cases we implement it on. And so the idea will be, if good people get to use AI earlier on and they can bring more good in the world, I think it will counterbalance any negative or nefarious or malicious people using AI for harmful purposes. It is not going to, like, the human nature is not going to change because of AI. That's just the fact. So I hope I addressed some of those questions. Let's see if there are new questions. It's a risk and opportunity if I don't get ahead. Yes.
At this time, we do not, but I did notice that a number of people are entering with Fabrizio's name. If you could go into Zoom and change your name on your video feed, that'll make it easier when you do ask a question to attribute it to the right member. Thank you.
Yes. I just, yeah, so there are a couple of comments about jobs and opportunity. Yes, I believe the sooner we get to embrace this, the more opportunity we will be able to avail. So an example again is from our early 90s when the internet was just coming up. If you had asked somebody in early 90s, hey, do you need an email address? Do you need a website? Most people would have said, no, I don't need email address. I don't need, what's a website? I don't even know what's a website. And then in 1997, I believe, Jeff Bezos, a guy named Jeff Bezos, started a website. And within 20 years, he became the richest person on the planet. And Amazon became the biggest retailer on the planet, overcoming Walmart, which has been around for 100 years, more than 100 years. So when we adopt technology earlier on, we can get to ride the wave longer and higher and get the most benefit out of it, right? So the fact that you are all here, you are already on the fast track to adopting this AI. You're already being informed. So now what I will do is I will talk about what can we do to get ready for AI. And in order to do that, what I looked up was, what are the governing bodies around the world? What are they doing? How they are helping? What kind of frameworks they are coming up with? And so I came across this AI Readiness Index, which is very popular these days. It was devised by a governing body of AI in Singapore. And what this tells us is that any business or organization, they basically can take an assessment. They can assess their own business, and looking at 4 main pillars of their current situation, their current business, they can easily determine how ready they are for adoption of AI. So I'll quickly go over these 4 pillars. So the first one is organizational readiness, meaning how ready you are for adopting or considering AI. And this all sort of ties to the mindset, the willingness of the executives, the sponsors in the leadership, how willing they are and how open they are to adopting this technology in their organization. So AI literacy, AI talent, whether you have in-house talent, whether you are working with experts like my company, whatever that readiness looks like, because people are the most important asset that an organization has. So before we can consider that we are AI ready, we need to make sure that our organization, our people, our talent, our policies are ready for AI, right? The next pillar is business value readiness, because even here in the comments I read, we don't know where to start. Even if we are willing to adopt a technology like AI, we have a question, okay, where do I start? What is the first step? How do I get started? So this is where, we need to sit down and say, what are the low-hanging fruit in my business? What are the use cases where AI and automation can help me either save money or save time or help me make more money, grow my revenue, break into new markets? Whatever that use case is, we can determine and say, okay, this is exactly where we should invest because it will bring us positive return on investment in the short term, right? The next pillar is data readiness, because data is the raw ingredient for any AI algorithm. So if we want to make a tasty dish, we have to gather the ingredients. So data is the main ingredient for any AI recipe. So if we have good quality data, meaning a lot of organizations, they maintain their data in Google Drives, in spreadsheets, and it's spread all over the place. And sometimes it's not easy to collect all that data and have a comprehensive view of what is going on in the organization. So this pillar talks about all of those kind of issues where we say, okay, how do we bring all that data in one place? How do we maintain the data quality? Whether we have reference data, meaning reference data means like the categorization or the references to a specific data that tells us what is the meaning of that data. All of this combined is the raw ingredient for effective AI strategy, right? And then the last pillar is infrastructure readiness. So this is about your infrastructure, your network, your servers, your computers, the software that is needed to implement AI. So this is where infrastructure readiness comes in. This is where more of the technology readiness comes in. So if we look at these 4 pillars and we assign some level of readiness between 1 and 5, it gives us a really good indicator how ready we are as an organization to to adopt AI. And basically, AI Singapore, who has devised this AI Readiness Index, they have categorized organizations into 4 main buckets. So the first, on the left-hand side, is the AI unaware organization. They may have heard about AI, but they don't know what it can do, how it can be used, where to start. Then the next one comes AI aware, which is organizations that can use AI today. And they are looking for off-the-shelf products like the one that I showed, Chat PDF or Chat GPT, or there are many other off-the-shelf products and services that they can start to incorporate into their business. So that is AI aware. AI ready is that you have the capacity and the capability to actually create use pre-trained AI models and incorporate them into your business. So what that means in plain English is you can work with somebody like us. You can describe a problem to us, and we can come up with a custom algorithm for your organization and implement it in your business operations. And the last and the most advanced sort of readiness is AI competent, where you have in-house teams where you can customize AI models and incorporate them into your business. So the idea will be that wherever you are on the spectrum, as the opportunity becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, we need to allow our organization to move from left to the right. So even if we fall in AI unaware, the idea will be to move to AI aware, ready, and competent. And when I talk about the opportunity is humongous. The CEO of IBM has said that AI is going to add about $10 trillion to the world economy by 2030. So today, the world economy is $80 trillion. So that means in the next 7 years, AI is going to add 12.5% of the world economy into the world GDP. That's how big the opportunity is. So in my opinion, this is going to be one of the biggest wealth transfers that is going to happen in human history. So it is going to pay off big time by trying to move from AI unaware to AI competent.
Manuj, we have several questions queued up.
Yes.
Would this
Yes.
be a time to kind of work through them? Okay.
Yes, of course.
So let me see. The first question that hasn't been addressed, it comes from Mike Richardson. It says, what is your latest understanding of Microsoft launching Copilot in the Office suite? And when will that be generally available? Plus, what is your sense of how that will change things for all of us?
Yes. So Copilot is basically, your super smart assistant who can help you write emails, answer, create spreadsheets, create slides. It's basically the same AI that I demoed, and it's from Microsoft, integrated into Microsoft Office. And I believe Office, if you subscribe to the online version of Office, I believe it's already available. So Office 365 is Copilot is already available. In Windows and the desktop version of Office, I believe it is going to be available in the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter of this year. And the way that it will change, I hope that answers the question about availability. So if you want to try it out, I highly recommend you subscribe to Office 365 and give it a spin. How it will change things for us, the key thing about business is that business is all about people. And sometimes we are not really good at communicating our thoughts to other people, including our employees, our teammates, our clients, our partners. So in my opinion, and as an engineer, I had a lot of challenges communicating my thoughts with other people. So I believe the biggest change that will happen with AI and platforms like Copilot, it will give us an ability to communicate with other people more effectively, which will mean, less time spent um, on negotiations, arguments, all of that, and more time collaborating, more easier buy-in from other people. I believe that is what it will really impact our ability to communicate and collaborate with other people. I hope that
Thank you.
answers the question.
And we have another question, and it comes from Marco Munoz, and he asks, what do you think is the industry that artificial intelligence can help a lot? And what do you think is the industry that will lose a lot from artificial intelligence?
Yes. So I believe there is no industry that will be left unaffected by AI. In my opinion, pretty much every industry will be disrupted, but the industries that will be most disrupted will be service-based industries like banking, uh, financial services, insurance, healthcare. These industries will be disrupted the most because there's a lot of paperwork involved in this. There's a lot of personal attention that needs to be paid to the clients here. And these are high stakes industries. So even one small error can mean a difference between life and death or loss of, large amount of money. So these industries will be disrupted the most. And uh, lose the industry that will lose a lot, what comes to mind is driving, because I believe in the next 10 years there's not going to be a driving job left, and there are more than 10 million people in US alone whose livelihood depends upon just driving. That's all they do. So cab drivers, truck drivers, all of those sort of industries will be completely disrupted. So that, I mean, disrupted, whether that will result in a loss, I cannot say. But those jobs will be displaced, and we'll have to, see how to upskill those people.
Rico Moreno asks, where can we go to learn more about AI from a trusted source?
Yes. So I will say, if you read something in the news cycle, do not believe that news, but seek out more reliable sources. Like, as I said, I rely on IBM, Microsoft, OpenAI. These are the companies who are on the cutting edge of technology. You can talk to experts like myself. I've been in AI for 15 years, with 4 patents and working with some of the largest corporations. We understand AI and its implications. So the short answer is, go talk to people who you already trust. The sources that you already trust, which are these major corporations or somebody in your network who is knowledgeable about AI, rather than relying on social media news or news that you read online. Those are all, in fact, I mean, as I said earlier, they are actually just controlled by AI right now. So I hope that answers the question.
It does, and there's several more in the queue. May I ask you them?
Of course, of course.
Okay. It comes from Fabricio, which I suspect is really not Fabricio, but it says it is. The question from the member or guest is AI a good translator?
Yes, yes. See, AI translation has been there for several years. Like, if you go to, Google Translate, it can translate, I think, almost like hundreds of languages, and this has been around for a long time now. With these new platforms becoming ready, like ChatGPT and Bard, the ability to translate will just increase exponentially, because now it can not only give you the literal translation, but it can also give you the contextual translation, or the emotional sort of feelings that are being portrayed in the sentence. So, for example, if I use this, hi, how are you doing? So you can see it is translating from English to French in real time, right? And these are all the languages that it is capable of translating to, but this is just a very basic version. Now, I believe much more advanced versions of this will be available very soon.
Sandra asks if the slides that you're sharing today will be shared.
Yes, I can share the slides with Rick, and then Rick, maybe you can forward it. And
sure. I'm sorry, a follow-up question was, can you say the name of Google's AI platform?
Yeah, it's Bard. I think it's Bard. Yeah. So it is available now, and you can go to bard.google.com, and and I believe it is available for everyone. Yeah, it's not available in Canada. So in many cases, you have to apply for access, and then they'll grant you access within a couple of days or so. So these platforms are just coming up, but the ability to access them is being released in smaller cycles, in smaller batches.
So Daniel asks, if you would have to choose between getting all the potential of AI, but you need to share confidential information, what would be your suggestion?
Yes. So as I said, there are public platforms like Bard and ChatGPT and all that. I will not recommend uploading any private information there. If you want to use it for private information, there are enterprise solutions already available from Microsoft, from other companies, which can be implemented in your organization. In fact, I think there is a demo on YouTube which shows you how you can put all your organizational data into a repository, and it's a private repository, secure enterprise repository, and then there is a ChatGPT interface on top of it, so you can ask any questions. Microsoft Enterprise. I'll look it up. Cognitive. I'll look it up, and then I'll send it to you if that's of interest.
Thank you. Sorry to talk over you, but I just want to let everyone know who's currently on the webinar. At the end of it, we're going to be giving you the opportunity to sign up so that you can get regular updates from REF on AI and advancements. So anything, Manuj, that you are going to give us, I think we'll use that platform as well to make sure people receive it. But we have a few more questions. Yeah. Are you up for answering them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So this is the actual. Let me just put it in chat. This is the video that people can watch on how they can use some technologies for their enterprise. I mean, it's a very technical video, but it'll give you an idea of what is the capability, what is this technology capable of.
So the next question comes from the person that introduced me to you, Hector Garcia, a longstanding member here in Orange County, California. We affectionately call him Hector the Connector. Yeah. And he says, thank you, brother Manuj. What types of businesses do you feel are most ready to adapt and adopt AI to fortify their businesses? Entrepreneurs or ?
You know, the interesting thing what I find is that it's not about the type of business, it's about the business leader and their mindset. So adopting a new technology is a risk, in people's minds. So people who are comfortable taking small risks and trying things out, those are the businesses who are ready to adopt and adapt this AI. If they are risk averse, then they will wait for several years before others adopt it. They come up with, they figure out all the kinks, all the solutions have been figured out, all the regulations are in place, then they will make the move. So it's about how innovative you are, how enthusiastic you are about adopting new technologies, rather than a particular type of business. If I were to say, what are the type of businesses, as I said, service-based businesses will be will benefit from it. But if you combine AI with other technologies like 3D printing or computer vision, then even manufacturing companies can really leverage this AI in a very, very effective way.
So we have a question from Jim Neidhart, who is our business partner for REF in New Jersey, and he sort of makes a question/statement, which is, so those of us that are really good at communications will lose our competitive advantage?
Well, so that's a very interesting question. See, the thing is that if I'm a fast runner and I buy a sports car to go even faster, I'm not going to lose my advantage as a fast runner. I just got a new technology that helps me go even faster, right? So if you're a great communicator and you are able to communicate with 10 people in a day, you'll probably now be able to communicate with 100 people a day. And your knowledge and expertise and your savvy communication skills will only be enhanced by using the technology.
So I see that we have roughly 10 minutes left, but there's a number of questions. Do you want to continue to address them?
I'm in your hands. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
thank you. So there was a question from Paulo who asked specifically, what are your patents in AI?
So it'll take a long time, so I'll just summarize it. 2 patents are in healthcare, where we used AI and computer vision and 3D printing to help people with joint pains. And then 2 patents are in education, where we helped students get personalized curriculum, have personalized learning experience. And the second one is helping students complete their degree programs, because 30% of the students, they drop out of their degree programs in the first 2 years. So with AI, we are able to help them to complete their degree programs. And that project actually got mentioned from Obama and Bill Gates.
So thank you. So there's a question here from Marco. Do you have any web, and I assume that means websites, to follow you? Where would people learn more about you?
Yeah, so you can just go to manuj.ca, or you can Google my name, or you can scan this barcode, a QR code. Number of ways to connect with me, or you can find me on LinkedIn, or maybe Rick, you can help facilitate that connection.
And I think that's another plug for joining the community that we're building of people who are AI curious, so that we can continue to communicate with you. Daniel asked if you could share some AI tools you are using today that we can explore.
So as I said, I always recommend go with the most stable, most robust tool, which is ChatGPT. And as you start to use it, you will start to see, like, once the plugins are available to you, plugins are going to enhance the ability of ChatGPT. So if you subscribe to the ChatGPT Plus for $20 a month, you should get access to the plugins, and then pretty much everything that you could possibly need will be in one platform. And again, if you need some custom solution or something outside of that, then we can discuss it. But for so ChatGPT for text and Midjourney, or I think there was another platform for images and video. So I suggest you take one platform for text, one for images, one for video or audio, if your business needs it.
So maybe this is an opportunity to go deeper at a later time, but Marco Munoz asked it mentions that he needs platforms to do automation, and maybe that's a chance we could follow up in the community.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Paulo asked, why use Chat PDF over Chat GPT? What's the difference or use cases?
See, Chat PDF helps us, makes it easier to upload PDFs, and then it scans the PDFs, understands the PDFs, and then I can ask any question as if this AI is an expert in the content that was in the PDF. So as I demonstrated, like, I cannot upload this document, like my financial statement, into Chat GPT right now. It's a very convoluted technical process. So Chat PDF makes it easier for me to upload it and ask questions.
So Fabricio again shows up and he's asking, give us the 3 key main topics of Chat GPT.
Okay, so key main topics. So I believe what the premise of the question is how to get started. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. One thing I tell people is that use Chat GPT to get better at asking better questions, because as business leaders, we can only be as effective as our questions. If we ask good questions, we get good answers. So use Chat GPT to get better at asking questions. Second thing is start using ChatGPT to tell better stories, because stories have the power to connect us as human beings, to make us more relatable. So if you use ChatGPT for these 2 things, a whole new world will open up to you, and then you automatically it's like a snowball effect where your mind starts to race and say, oh, okay, where else can I use it? So if you try these 2 things, you'll see a major improvement.
Actually, we had a question that came through the question and answer part of Zoom, and that is, why do you think there won't be any driving jobs left in 10 years?
Well, it's almost saying that, why aren't there any horse cart, why isn't there a horse cart industry left anymore? Because it has been replaced by automobiles, right? So as human beings, we are always looking for convenience. We are always looking for safety. And statistically, even today, even with the imperfect AI algorithms, self-driving cars are safer than human beings, human drivers. So because of the efficiency, because of the safety, because of convenience, I believe these jobs will be replaced.
So we have I'm going to respectfully say I appreciate everyone who's submitted questions, and hopefully we've been able to get through most of them this morning. Love the interest, but we have just a few minutes left, and I know, Manuj, there were a couple things that you wanted to wrap up, and then we wanted to give everyone a chance to join our global community, both for members and guests, to stay updated on what we're doing in the area of AI. So before we do that, do you want to wrap it up, Manuj?
Yes, quickly. If you are curious, if you are willing, these are the things that we should do to implement AI in our strategy. Invest in AI culture and leadership. Look at the operations and use cases where AI and automation can be used. Orchestrate your technology and talent. Be ready infrastructure wise, and then, as I said, select the use cases that can help accelerate the value. And the way that we have done this for decades, this is the process. First we do a kickoff. This could be your internal team figuring out what are the next steps, create some sort of hypothesis on which direction you want to go. And I always recommend come up with at least 3 different directions, 3 different hypotheses. Collect the data, verify your hypothesis, and then implement and iterate over these solutions so that you can get to the final state that you're looking for. And now, we have one last poll. So the idea is that I hope in this short 1 hour, I was able to give you a little bit of insight about what AI can do and get you excited about it, get you more informed about it. So so we can see what impact we were able to create today. Okay, wow. I mean, that's very encouraging. More than 60, 70, 70% are above 9 now. So that's awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. I love it. I'm so excited that you guys are considering AI now. So I can't wait for to see how you're going to transform your business, your life. Thank you so much.
Manuj, on behalf of the REF organization, on behalf of REF Global members and all of the guests that were invited today, I want to thank you for spending the time to both put the presentation together and also to share your knowledge, a bit of your knowledge with the group. One of the questions we didn't get the chance to ask you was, would you be willing to do a follow-up fireside chat with the community at some future date?
Anytime, absolutely.
Okay,
anytime.
great. And the real Fabricio, if you could bring up the the QR code to allow people, or put it into chat. Okay, it's in the chat. So if you would like to be a part of our community as we move forward in AI, simply follow the link that Fabricio has placed there, or scan this QR code, and you will only receive information from RAF, from REF Global, and you'll be a part of our community of what we're thinking of as AI curious business leaders. We believe this is such a competitive opportunity and a differentiation for you that we're hoping that not only the active members of REF globally, but any guests that are on the call today will become part of this community, so that we can learn about artificial intelligence from the collective intelligence of the global community. So on behalf of REF and the technology network that I chair, I'd like to thank everyone who participated today. And we certainly look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. And Manuj, you've done a great job. We truly appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.